never heard of Andrew Yang.
For what? 10 years?
Can you heard your brother? Yes, I'm here. We're just waiting to get started. We'll be starting shortly. A little low on energy. Just got to get some conversation flowing. That's all. But I'm here.
Where?
It's my first time seeing one of my conference like this thing.
Come on, Starbucks.
Yeah.
Nice little establishment.
What's that other one?
Now we got a black coffee shop. Remember over there not too long ago. It wasn't quite like this, but
Yeah, I remember that spot. Yeah, I remember that spot. Whatever happened to that spot?
I don't think it was doing how she needed to do, so she had to, switch gears.
Gotcha.
Talking about the one that was down there, right there where the pizza it is now. Yeah, Sister Paula King was the owner.
Right.
Yeah, we were pretty close.
That's one of the best schools in the
I guess I jumped from here a little prematurely.
What?
Live.
Yeah. What's up?
With his mama. I'm supposed to try to get him after this movie. I don't want to stop, but I don't want to keep on putting. What's this? Is this showing up in the group now?
That's what they're gonna do. Usually, like when they do a charter school, they make it to where there's like no transportation around. So you really gotta be a privileged kid to.
Yep.
That's what
It's funny to me. I got you on video watching the video.
Yeah, it did that a little late, but yeah, it did a little awkward. Look at this inception.
I'm going to spread. What up with you, King? Good to see you, good brother. I'm going to slide in like with this phone back on this charge.
Somebody said right?
I don't believe.
We'll go ahead and get started. Maybe some folks might show up late. Clarence already said that he'll be late. I want to start off by letting the new people or the people that if this is your first time attending one of the Black Birmingham Black Economic Alliance meetings, we want you to give your name and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. But before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that b.e.a. or the Birmingham Black Economic Alliance is a group that we put together some months ago, and we're doing quite a few different things. Omani is heading up a farm. We got 7 acres that we're utilizing to produce and grow food, and we're going to set up a farmer's market. And if you come out and attend and help with the farm, the food that we grow, we take from it. You know, we can feed our families with this food also, and all excess will be sold at a farmer's market that we're going to set up here later too. We're doing a lot of what we call crowdfunding. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the crowdfunding and what we do when it comes to crowdfunding. We pick a particular black business once a month, and we gang rush that business. Yes, that's why you need to be here. All right, I'll make it. All right. Yeah, being that Birmingham was the heart of the civil rights movement. At one point in time, the clergy was the main people during the civil rights movement that made things happen. Now it seems like today that the clergy, black clergy with us now, we're not in. Now, they have members that participate in the Black Dollars Matter campaign, but they haven't fully jumped on board yet. But we're looking for them to become a part of the Black Dollars Matter coalition too. Also, New Era was a part of this organization when we first started, New Era Birmingham. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. They do a lot of feeding the people in the, in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. They do a lot of yeah, they do a lot of community work, community cleanups, and they feed hungry and people and stuff like that. Hopefully, we get them back on board with us. What else? Yeah. So, our next crowdfunding event will be with a coffee shop downtown Black owned. It's where we officially formed and started and named b.e.a. It's called Bazaar Coffee. What's it called? Bazaar what?
Coffee bar.
Huh?
I think it's just Bizarre Coffee Bar.
Bazaar Coffee Bar. What we want to do down there is the same thing that we do with all of our crowdfunding. We want to strengthen Bazaar because they don't get a lot of support from the whites down there, and they are downtown, and basically the predominant race down there is white folks, and they don't want to really support. That's where we started. I might have missed a whole lot of stuff, but clean it up for me. It's your first meeting? Okay. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Lamar Tan, born and raised in Birmingham, West End. Been married 2 years, 32 years old. I don't really know what else to say.
Are you a business owner, brother?
Nah, not yet.
Okay. And what's your skill or your field of expertise? What do you do?
Well, I'm currently employed at a place called Cranes. They be a cranes for different warehouses.
They do a what?
Cranes. Like
Cranes?
like
Okay.
that silk and stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay. Okay, go ahead, brother. This your first name?
Yeah, it's my first time. My name is Myron Moore. I'm here with my good friend Zone, the think tank. Want to check y'all out, see how y'all thinking, how y'all moving. 35, I just turned 36 actually, January 28th from Chicago, Illinois. I work in insurance right now, not front lines, back lines. I got different little, skills and trades, public speaking, things of that sort, real estate. Overall, I'm just very much into the advancement of our people, the awakening of our people. Food to get us over that line, and we've been stuck behind so long. I'm all about it. So, let's keep it moving.
That's right, brother. Let me ask you a quick question right quick. Now, you do insurance. Well, this is one thing that I forgot to tell. Now, we are doing, what we're trying to do is bring a cultural event to Birmingham that we want to hold in East Lake Park. We're bringing speakers in, the radio station 95.1. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they're a really pro-black radio station headed up by brother Anthony Muhammad and Haki Jamal. They're going to help us bring in the Irritated Genie. Are you guys familiar with the Irritated Genie? The Irritated Genie's going to be here. We're also bringing Kamau Cambone. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yes, sir.
And we're hoping that we can get Dr.
They
Claude
want to kill
Anderson
you.
here too. So on that day in East Lake Park, we're gonna have all the African nation flags up. We're gonna do every flagpole on the front of East Lake Park. And we want a red, black, and green that son of gun out all throughout the park. We're bringing vendors and performers, and we want to make it part of that right there too. She's bringing the entertainment, the band, and the sound system, and we got to get. That's why I've been trying to get at you because we need the stage. Need the stage for. I know you're connected with the city, and we need the stage for free. And if you can get us some waivers on our park expenses, because it's gonna cost us $900 and I forget how many dollars for us to get the park on that day. We also wanna get that waived because the city puts on a 4th of July thing every year for free, or they pay for it. And we want them to support this cultural event that we're bringing to Birmingham to get the people to understand why they should support black businesses. We want to build up an economic base within the city of Birmingham. We also, that's why we're working with a bunch of different groups because, for example, the Justice League, they're the ones heading up the boycott Hoover thing. So we want to take our dollars and our tax base out of Hoover and move it to Birmingham where we at and strengthen our own tax base right here in Birmingham. So we need the people, that's why we want Dr. Claude Anderson to get the people to understand the importance of supporting black businesses. And that's what the Black Economic Alliance is all about. And we want the businesses to work together also. So, Corey, yeah. What is it gonna, what do you think you could do for us? Insurance on our
And insurance, how we can deal with it.
Okay. So we're gonna designate someone to be able to do that because I'll be off most of this week in the daytime, so I can be able to get at that.
That's not in the fee.
No, we gotta pay for the insurance. Brother Corey, it's on you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Corey Petway. I don't want to call myself a community activist.
He is a community activist. That brother do a lot of good work.
Just a person in the community, man, that believe in trying to change the world one moment at a time, doing my own part. Co-founder of a few different organizations, part of the 100 Black Men Deep Walk. Also worked at the city of Birmingham for with Councilor Darrell Quinn. As it relates to the event that you're talking about and the things that y'all need, if you give me an email address, I'll send the paperwork that's required to send it in to the mayor and help connect you all with the right folks. Kel, my boy, I see some other familiar faces in here as well. Been watching the movement for a minute. I bet I'm a part of, like he say, I'm a part of some of everything, so usually I'm not always there. However, I do recognize when my people are doing great work, so I've been watching what's going on, and you know what I'm saying, help spread. And just been here to come to opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to come here and get filled everything and be a part of whatever I can be a part of. And also an invite, share paperwork with everybody, like I said, about the 100 Black Men Deep Walk. We have one coming up on next Sunday in the North Birmingham area. It's b.e.a. is not necessarily directly a part of 100 Black Men Deep Walk, but as far as the work that it do and the people that's associated with b.e.a., y'all are a part of 100 Black Men.
We're gonna support you, brother. We're gonna support you.
It's an open invite for you all to come out and engage with the people as well. The purpose of the walk is to bring all these different Black people, all these different people that's working on the better behalf of the Black community together in unity to have access to the people in the communities and leave lasting marks with them. By no means are we looking to be the people that come over and take over economics or cooperative economics in the sector of Birmingham, but we definitely want to link the people who we have access to you all. So, I mean, because we trust you all. I mean, I see some people in here that, Kel know I lay my life down for anybody, but it's like, there's some people in here that I know I don't have to think twice because I know they'll lay down mine. So I don't mind sharing those people or individuals with you also. Thank you.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, just a little bit what the brother said, like, again, for example, Justice League, those are the guys that are heading up the boycott. We want to try to support those people in every way we can, because it's dangerous what they're doing out there in Hoover, protesting with them crackers out there, and them people ready to hurt somebody. So we need to support them, even if we don't get out there and march or protest with them, because I'm not a protester. I'm thinking other actions when it comes to, them getting justice from them folks. But we still want to support them in any way we can. So we don't take over the boycott. We just ride with them on the boycott.
If I'm not mistaken, b.e.a. is the boycott. b.e.a. started and pushing the boycott. And the Justice League is leading the resistance as far as Hoover, boycott of Hoover. So, but b.e.a. were the ones who actually created the boycott, and the idea came from out of b.e.a.'s organizing. And they was dealing with the economics of redirecting and redistributing wealth back to our communities, especially away from Hoover. So again, I don't want to give I want us to know that we're really big and we're in the front lines with this boycott also. So all those ideas and so on, and how we can boycott strategically. Of course, we boycott Hoover, but there's people and businesses associated that also need a little bit of this boycott. So I want to put that on the table too, that we are creatively trying to find ideas and ways to continue to boycott, especially Chris's
Sister.
Oh, my name is Jordan. I'm from Ainsley, and I'm here for the reason I have young adult women. I have 3 daughters. I also have other teenagers that's in my family. We have one of my nieces. She want to start a business, so she want to do makeup, and I have a lot of artists, young artists in my family. So we trying to generate ideas on where they can make money with their art. My t-shirts, because I got so many shirts. I don't want to dig now where you got to produce so many shirts, and let me see what y'all can do on your own. But we had a meeting today, actually. This is my daughter's birthday. But we had a meeting today on like, this is the money, this is the deadline. We got to produce a certain amount so we can at least advertise. So I just came here to get some ideas where we can help the young people, where they can at least, where they won't have to come and stop, but they can come to some of y'all functions and sell their own products. So that's just, yeah. Well, they went to a photo shoot, and my sister is a photographer, so that's another outlet. But I know you're doing the event too, so I was wondering, can we kind of like put these young people on board so they can learn how to make money for themselves?
I can give you a direct, it was good, can I give you some direct feedback real fast, bro? So we're actually looking for somebody to head like the youth department for us, because we don't have nobody that has.
Well, we'll talk about.
Or we're looking for people to actually be on that team, because I would not be a part of an organization that doesn't have something specifically for the youth. If you would like to come on board, or not even head, just be on that in that department. And yes, we have more artists in our collective, especially with Black Star Academy. We got some artists there, and we have the Cultural Center. And again, Brother Walter has expressed multiple times. Every time he sees me, he tells me we need to do something with the Cultural Center. So again, putting art on display for sale and just to build African consciousness. I think that's something.
Can it also be for elders? Because my mom is, she could have been like one of these people who dream of being an artist, but she's directed in another path.
Everybody. So everybody, we need it. And one thing that come out, and we didn't say, is that we do have an elders council also, because we want this to be African centered. So again, we don't want to take the European mindset and just build another economic, capitalistic, suck blood from our community type of organization, because we could get rich that way. We can go suck some blood, we go play some people and get rich and be balling. But that's not what we're about. So again, it's an African centered way of doing things. So we're gonna think African in a way, whatever that means to us, So again, yes, all elders, all the youth are welcome. And we look forward to helping mold that with your youth and everybody else's also. So we definitely appreciate that, and we definitely need it.
Brother?
Yeah, I'm Interior Davis. Got a t-shirt line. Well, this ain't it, but this one's a partner line. And I do family over everything is what I am. And that's what I represent. But I work full time, work for a full service gas station. I'm just here to facilitate, help facilitate, be part of something. That's pretty much it.
And I didn't say before, but we try to give everybody that comes into the organization a position or a slot to where either you're on a team or you're heading up a particular committee, and then you build your committee, and your committee has a specific responsibility, and you may run that committee, but you guys are accountable for what you do. Like we have we're calling it at the moment Juneteenth, the cultural event that we're trying to do in East Lake Park. I don't like that Juneteenth, but we may heading up. This is Brother Craig. This is the brother that owns the beauty and barber supply store that I told you guys about, that we did the first crowdfunding event. Brother Craig, you want to speak on that right quick? On the crowdfunding event? Tell us how that went, bro. Speak to us.
Early to Craig. My name is Craig Smith. I'm CNC Beauty Supply on 6th Avenue, South Chesterfield. Like the hard some folks, but other than that, it's been a success.
All right.
Brother Craig.
Anyway, so if you have an idea, you know what we say here, if you birth it, then you got to care for it. So if you birth an idea, you got to run it. So with that being said, be careful what you say and what you bring forth, because you're going to be running. Like, for example, you say you got artists. Are they any kind of performing artists?
No, I don't have any performing.
Okay.
I mean, we could find some.
Yeah,
because they have a guy at my daughter's school, and my daughter is in choir, so it's a lot of young kids who can still find.
One thing I'd like to see, and I better be quiet myself, but I got you, bro. One thing I like to see is that we put together a label of young artists that are doing positive and conscious music, and we'll support it. I mean, we'll buy the music, we'll sell the music here ourselves, we'll transplant that music all over the country if we have to, need be necessary. But I'd like to see us bring in some young artists, and we build our own label with our own artists doing conscious and positive music, as opposed to this mumble trap BS that's out here.
I want to speak to that, and it's kind of right on time. I feel like it's divine order. I'm actually a performing artist myself. I do spoken word, poetry, and conscious rap. I kind of wanted to do the same thing. Like I had a dream of wanting to have something where we can funnel the youth and give them access to doing things like poetry, rap, and expressing themselves in performance art. But lack of funding, lack of having studio that I have full access to. But I have ideas of definitely how we can cultivate youth through positive cultural performing arts. And maybe we set up incentives, like you said, if you agree to have this type of cultural content or positivity, then we will support you. Like our organization will support these artists.
Studio time.
Exactly, etc. And then we'll package it under our label, etc., etc. I would love to head our work with that fully.
So let me ask you one quick question, brother. We need you to be a part of b.e.a. Well, how do you feel about that? We need you to be a part of this right here, a committed member of this organization right here. What you got to say to that?
I'm with it. I mean, I'm with it. I know it has some type of fees and stuff, but I'm with it.
Okay, let me ask you one other question. Can we depend on you to put to initiate?
I don't want to put it on because we have committees. So again, I want to make sure.
I want to put him on the committee.
Yeah, we could put him on the committee, but I think we got to make sure we not starting any new committees, you know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So I believe maybe the cultural and arts committee, if you would love, if you like to be on the cultural committee, you have help with that. And chair it one day, but maybe that's a
No, it's no worries, man.
be on the arts and culture committee. That's something I'm starting on this committee. So,
Sister,
Hey, my name is Tamika. Today I like where I really want to work for myself. Y'all was speaking on a lot of little different groups and organizations that's going on in the surrounding area. I had no idea. I'm from the Birmingham area. Several years of tax experience. I also have office management and contractors. They didn't have anybody to create invoices and things of that nature. So that would be like part of my business. I want to eventually start my own tax time. And then doing offices like do bookkeeping and do invoices and stuff for small black contractors in the surrounding areas.
Sister, if you come on board, we definitely got a spot for you, because we can use your expertise. We got a sister who runs our administrative department, and she needs help, and we've been waiting on you.
Okay.
What about you, brother? Come on.
My name is John, M.A.B. Senior. I'm a senior pastor of the Parish Church. I do production, I do music production. I have about 3 artists that I produce already. Okay. Myself as well. I do graphics arts. I have my own beverage company, it's called Punch on the Bottle. And then this goes on. I can build websites, I can do all that type of stuff. Graphic art, doesn't matter. Okay. So I kind of definitely do it all. So.
All right. Well, we got a brother that we love to put you in. And as a matter of fact, that's one of them right there. And then we got. Yeah. Brother, we sure could use you, and I hope you be willing to come aboard and put in some work with us. We strictly, most of us are. I knew I was on my own. I was with jumping every out and do my business. People can come on board, and we need this movement going again, because, like I said, we need to bring the tax base back here in Birmingham and stop taking our money up out of our communities. We need to own our businesses within our communities. We need to build our first floor, as Dr. Claude Anderson calls it, so we can buy politicians and this, and the other. I was going somewhere else, but my mind slips me. But brother, well, let me tell you, this is Brother Benny. Brother Benny is one of the elders. He sits on the Elders Council. He's also sits on the Finance Committee. Brother Benny, you got any words for us, Brother Benny? Just the elder, before we go on, brother. You wasn't here, so I didn't ask for permission to speak because you wasn't here.
Okay, hey, you got my permission, brother. I'd just like to thank everyone coming out today and definitely being patient with an old man, being a little talkative, but the move said, and many of us have said from time to time, is that we have to be proactive in terms of moving our community forward. When I say, as he said, pro-black, that's pro-black 100%. That's not pro-black, being pro-black part of the time.
Come on, brother.
So we have to move our businesses forward, to patronize each other. If we need soap, if there's a black selling soap, we need to try to find that black person. And the best way for that to happen is we have to network and begin to know where we can find each other. With that said,
And also, Black Dollars Matter, that coalition right there. Like I said, we're involved in a lot of things with, like I said, the progressive black clergy. We also have some people that are talking to the banks, but while I'm talking about banks, let me get to this. We have reached out to some banks
to get sponsorship for the meet for the yeah, for that. Well, I was calling it something else. Cultural event that we're trying to do in East Lake Park. So we had one bank, their president is going through some kind of turmoil right now. It was a black bank. He's going through some turmoil right now. I guess he's being indicted for something. So they denied us the sponsorship. We got another black bank, Citizens Trust. We got somebody in contact with them, working on that. I've seen some of the emails that's been going back and forth between the bank and our administrative person. So hopefully that'll come through for us and that'll help us, you know, that'll alleviate some of the costs that we spend, and hopefully Corey will come through and alleviate some more of the costs for us. And I've been taking up money from people at my job, which I do have $105 that I took up from people at work to go towards that cultural event. But we've got some people in the Black Dollars Matter that are talking to the banks so that the clergy, we're talking to the clergy also to get the clergy that when they take up collections on Sunday, that they move their monies out of the white bank and put it in the black bank. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get those members of those congregations and those churches to start putting their money in a black bank, and we probably try to do the same thing also. So we want to support the black bank as much as possible. Again, we got some people talking to that bank so that the bank will know that this is happening and that they will reciprocate so that we'll have access to capital when we want to do something, when we want to start a business house or anything of that nature. So we got people talking to those banks to make sure, or to ensure that that happens. Brother Clarence, he's late, better late than never. They told me when I be late for work, just get here when you can. But we glad you made it, brother.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna first apologize. I done spun like a little spin thing I've been running this weekend, so they finally caught up with me today. So I do apologize. But just to reiterate what Brother K was saying, Black Economic Alliance was formed right around the E.J. Bradford issue. And for us, we felt like us boycotting did not fit us. We didn't want to get out and protest. We didn't want to stand in front of the police, so we want to do something different. So the first thing we started doing, Evan and Malkia reached out to me. I hit on the radio, and then I reached out to Kevin, reached out to D'Amica. Radio hit Brother K Move. And we said, well, we want to educate people on don't go to Hoover. So we started passing out flyers. That's the first thing we did. Then we got to the point and said, we want to do more than just that. So Latrice, who's not here right now, Sharp sister, the administrator, said, reached out to me during that course that I've been trying to get with all of me that bazaar. So that was our meeting where we formed what would be our mission statement. I don't have it right on it, but I can tell you the three main principles that we work on. The first principle is educating people. Education is first thing. What are we educating people on? We're educating people on why they should spend money with black folks, right? That's the most important thing, because people can say, we can say, okay, spend money here, but why? Why we spend money with black people? Because if we spend money with black people, we're keeping our money within our community. We're keeping people in the community to live, because what's happening in the black community, we having a brain drain. All of our youth are leaving. They're going to Atlanta, they're going to Miami, they're going to New York, and then they're trying to move to Mountain Brook, they move to Trussville, they're moving outside of a black city. Birmingham is still 70-some% black. Jefferson County is not 100% black, but we carry the political weight in it. Says, so we got to why they should spend black. Secondly, we want to be able to identify those, like what they say, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We want to identify the threats in our community. Who's the threat in our community? These people that are draining the resources from our community that won't give back. But some people will give back. But we got a lot of businesses that are not giving back to the community. So if we say, you out our community, we've got to have. That's the first thing. And also, we're going to also hold our own people accountable, because there's some black folk that are taking money, like what Kevin said, that don't want to be identified as black. They want to take the money, will move. They going out to Hoover Mountain Brook, and they say, okay, well, we need $5 so we can get a church some candy. We ain't giving you nothing. I just so those business too. The third point is
and then we're moving to the agenda. We won't be long because we understand we want to be back. We want to consider your time. Third point is to build the infrastructure. In other words, we want to rebuild our communities. When the Bible says rebuild the wasted cities, we want to bring restaurants back, clothing stores back. You know, it don't take that much. All it takes is us spending our money and being organized. Where the organized lie defeats the disorganized truth all the time. We stand on right, we just disorganized. So those are three things: education, identifying the threats and dealing with the threats, and to build the infrastructure. So Latrice, I said an agenda, but it's in my head. So I tried to reach about 4 times, but we'll go over one of the things we're dealing with. Right now we want to deal with, I submitted my recommendation to bylaws, and we may not have time, but maybe we can email those to Latrice. But can you do that, or does you have suggestions on the bylaws as we move forward? Does anybody have anything written down for the bylaws now? Because I know we're hour 15
I would like to go line by line with bylaws. Do
okay.
together.
Okay. Well, you think we got time? You want to?
No, we don't have time.
Okay, we don't have time. We'll table that. Let's table. Can somebody take notes on with that?
It probably needs a special meeting.
That's fine. Special meeting. We'll call a special meeting for that. We can identify that online outside of this because we want to value people's time. Is that okay with everybody? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Fine. All right. Okay, so we agree to that. Okay, good. All right, so let me go back to this gentleman. Let me give you a report on a couple of things.
Before you walked in, we were actually letting people introduce themselves so that everybody. My bad, bro. I wanted to make sure.
All right. So the first thing we want to do is give a report. What was our last crowdfunding event? Okay, well, we did that. We did well with that. The last event that we did was Black Economic Alliance, where we were the lead group, as Kevin was saying, was Black Dollars Matter. Black Dollars Matter is a coalition, just to reiterate what we said and make a quick correction. It's called Cutting Edge Clergy. I think the lead church with that is Baptist Church, and these are pastors that are about justice, using the Bible as a way to deal with justice, and of course, dealing with our economic strength. You have them. We have the Black Women's Roundtable. We have William Muhammad, who is with the United People's Campaign, that he's bringing his resources to it, which I'll go into that. We have Richard Rice, who's with the Grassroots Coalition, who's working with us. We have Arden Carmel, who's also working with us. And they didn't come. We don't count them. And then me and K. we represent them. And then the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is more so coming from a spiritual perspective. They're coming to inspire and encourage us, but the organizing part of those main organizations, they're helping, but the organizing part, the reason for the Black Lives Matter campaign is 2 issues that we're pushing, and that we're going to go into the agenda real quick, is crowdfunding. Some people say crowdsourcing. That we basically identify Black business. This thing works, and we did so good with Brother Craig Smith's business, CNC Beauty Supply. It caught a lot of people's attention, and he could tell you, for time purpose, we won't go into it, but I'm gonna say it real fast, that he used a radio station for 30 days of advertising for a live remote. He did a mailer sitting 500 people in the community, and what we did in a 10-day period, which was going into about 45 to 55 days later, he's still getting the residual money from that, from Facebook Live and Facebook shares, that shows you the power of our unity. Organized life can defeat a disorganized truth, but an organized truth and organized people we can win some things. So it was effective, and so we did his campaign. I think it was February, wasn't it? First in February we did. The 1st of March was the spring event, the spring market event, and I think we suggested, but we didn't move forward. Bazaar. But once I get a report, we'll agree upon that officially. So the crowdfunding, what we're trying to do with the coalition group is to expand it. The goal is by December, like for instance, with Trayvon Martin and the brother that was in St. Louis, what basically we've been doing in the last 5 or 6 years is when somebody gets killed, we'll say 30 days, like let's start on Christmas, a campaign of boycotting this area, boycotting Walmart or something like that. Instead of waiting 30 days out, let's start organizing now. That's the objective, is to bring coalition organizations to say that we're going to boycott. So 2 things: to boycott entities that are not in our benefit, and to have an army of people that's going to spend money. We want to have 1,000 people that we can say on a set day, once a month, twice a month, that we're going to say, we send everybody to your business to spend your money. And then sometimes, as Craig can tell you, that's all you need. There's a lot of black businesses that just need just a little bit of help, a little bit of help. Once you tell one turns into two, two turns into 10, 10 turns into 100, and then it's a ripple effect. But if they don't get no help, then they don't grow. So the only thing, the challenge is right now, on organizational level, and I'm trying to say it very succinctly, is to deal with guidelines to say of reciprocity, that once we help you, you have to help us, and how do you define the help, and then how do you find the requirements to how the business be choose. So we're in our infancy stages, but we can say it help with Craig, we can say it help with the spring market, and so we move on to the next business. And then William Muhammad's campaign is to boycott Christmas, but he won't be quite using that language because he don't want to offend Christian people. So it'll be just during the holidays trying to take that money from Hoover, because Hoover, the Justice League showed tremendously that it worked. Because for 3 weeks, black people did not spend money in Hoover, and it crippled them all. It showed you two things. It showed us that we are the #1 consumer. And so if we use our spending power properly, we can break white businesses, but we can also build black business. So we focus on the negative, but now we got to focus on the positive. The positive is build our business. Instead of saying, don't go here, let's say go here. Go to this clothing store, go to this coffee shop, go to these business. Most of the business that I don't think that we really need to focus on, like barbershop, beauty shop, they're going to make money. But businesses like customer service industry, IT business, beauty supply store, the retail industry is always hard because it's hard to pinpoint that target audience. And so, so that's what the 12 days ago, that Thursday, tell you how much tells you how effective and how much people want solutions to that. Me personally, I'm gonna go to an event where we're gonna talk and we ain't gonna get that done. We've been doing that. Black folks been talking for 100-some years since slavery. That's the first thing white folks let us do, is get some chicken and a biscuit and a crowd of people. We don't need to do no more talking. Let's deal with solution-oriented conversation. If we're gonna talk, let's see how we're gonna direct this conversation into solutions. And so that's our perspective. So the Black Dollars Matter campaign is where we at. We need everybody's help. Need everybody's skill set. And so I'm gonna be just moving fast. I'm sorry. Right.
All right.
If
we want them to shop in other places, you do have to have other locations for us to shop. Like I like to shop. Sure enough, I don't shop on that. We can shop online. So you gotta get these.
Well, let me stop. Let me wait. Hold on. I know. But let me stop. Only thing I'm saying is not to cut you off, but it's one point to say. Let's one person talk at one time. I don't think she was through her point. So when she threw, I'm not gonna interrupt.
Yeah, you did interrupt.
No, I'm listening to her. I'm getting to that.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, can we? I mean, I understand. Like we help. I didn't know anything about your business, but thank you. You real close to my house. I didn't know now. But I'm saying, did we do? What type of advertisement was done to boost his business? Though, because I don't know. Social media.
That was
okay.
it. That was it. Yeah, some flyers, but most of it was so. Most of it was.
Do we have anything? Because my thing is this: we all have kids, and I know some of us have teenagers with children. But do we have anything that would attract young teenager, young adults to say, "Oh, I'm gonna go spend my money over
here"? We coming to that. Okay. I'm gonna come to that at the agenda. I'm gonna come to that at Brother Omar.
I'm good. I was just gonna respond back to this, but I'm good. I just wanted. I don't know. I'll wait. Please talk about it. The resource for all black businesses in one spot. And we already have one with Black Wall Street. We have a couple black resources that we're trying to compile to one. So we can get it out there to our people and just hit the streets like this and say, look, you go 100 black businesses for you to shop at and not shop at these other businesses.
Don't you got something like that, bro?
Will we be advertising people who have online stores?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about that. Yeah, are you?
I got you. I like it.
And also, let me just point out that we have to be, when I say proactive, we have to be very conscious and work. When we're out shopping, hey, brother, here's a, like, shoe store over here. You know, you can get, like I say, you can get washing powder from this brother right here.
Yeah, that's what I was
This
saying with
person, he'll sell.
resources, yeah.
Right, so that's in addition to what everybody's already said.
Yeah.
But we also have to put that word out as well.
All right.
I just need clarification one more time, man. I probably asked you this 100 times already, but I just need it one more time.
Okay.
If we're doing crowdfunding as b.e.a, what do we need Black Dollars Matter for to crowdfund or to help us with that? Why don't they join b.e.a versus trying to create another organization that's doing what we're doing? Likewise with this boycott Christmas thing. Me and my wife, that's a lifestyle for us. I don't care who it offends by saying boycott